Okay.
Kamal Ansari joined my PgMP one-to-one program and he cleared it with overall above target. Now, what a success journey it has been. First, he did PMP plus, then he went to PgMP and every single thing, and in between RMP also. I was gonna forget about that. So, triple certified in just almost a year. Uh, he joined the second batch PMP last year, and for one to one for RMP as well as PGMP. He did all them in this year. Just want to add here is my 16th PGMP in last 9 months. And I have been lucky that my students are really, really great. And Kamal is a living example of it. Kamal sir, why don't you just share your journey in your own way, please?
Well, thank you. I actually, when I cleared RMP, after that, I was just thinking about what's the next step. And that's why I approached you, Sir Amir, and you advised that I should go for PGMP. And from there on, it was a very, very difficult path because PGMP is a very tough exam and the concepts are pretty hard. But the way of teaching of Mr. Sami and you, and especially the focus on domain ecos and that summarized file that you provided really helped a lot. Once I managed to understand the concepts and the arrangement of everything, the plans, the life cycle, the decisions when which decision is made, then I was able to start with the mocks, and from there on, I tried the mocks like every mock twice before I moved forward for another one, and finally I was able to give the exam. And Alhamdulillah, I cleared it just yesterday.
And you clear it on the day of like we were religious festival Idul Adha, and yesterday was Idul Adha, and I was 100% sure his exam would be rescheduled, so I did not ping him. And then I got a message from him, said, "You were able to do that?" I said, "Yes, I was able to do that. The centers were even open on Eid." So yeah, he went there. He like prioritized. Guys, this is one of the biggest example. This is one of the biggest example that I want to share with you. If you are committed for anything, you do it. He did it on Eid day. Okay, he did it on Eid day. That's a very important thing that we need to understand how this thing can work. And yeah, okay, let's talk about this thing. You joined the one-to-one program, you filled your application. In how much time your application was approved?
Actually, once I submitted my application and submitted the fee, my application was approved in almost 3 days only.
Hmm. Okay, so that is an interesting thing that now the application is getting less and less time for approval. And once the application get approved, he was my one-to-one student, but as a one-to-one student, we always allow you to sit in the batch. He sit in the batch, and we take it from there. And yeah, so Sami has done a marvelous job in the batch program. Every single student who joined it is saying that yes, he is the right choice that we took for our PGMP training to the batch program. In addition to that, how important those coaching calls were that you were attending.
Coaching calls were great because those were the basis. They established the basic foundation for the concept of PGMP. Every class in every lecture, we started with one domain and proceeded on to different concepts about it, and then afterwards the practice questions that we did together, they actually set the concepts in my mind and started the development of becoming a PGMP. And everything is built around those coaching classes. And it was very important for me to attend all those classes because if you miss one, then you are missing out on everything because you don't know in exam which question will appear when,
Hmm.
and you need to be prepared for everything, so you cannot afford to miss anything. And
Okay. Yeah.
secondly, as you know, we when we started this studying for this, we had a target that we will finish it before June is over.
Actually,
That's why,
before 15th of July. That was the first target. Then we
yeah,
went,
yeah.
went to update it.
But finally, it was that if you should do it before June is over. And
Yeah.
that's why when I was trying to book the exam, I was actually going for 28th, but there was only one slot available, and somebody else was booking it for PMP, and they beat me by few seconds. Just so instead, I called the institute to just to ask them if they are open on these days because it's Eid holidays, and they said that if you get the slot, then your exam will be taken. So I tried to book it. I was unsuccessful, and final date was 29, which was Eid day.
Which
That's why it fell on that day.
but the important thing is that he worked into that. Commit. This was what we called they were commitment. The commitment was there.
Yeah.
He needed to complete. Okay, let's talk about the final day that I document that we have made for our PGMP student that we shared it with you. How important that document is.
I got that document. It's a very good and very well summarized document. It's like having the whole PMI standard for PGMP in just one file, just
Mm,
2 pages.
mm,
And when I was preparing for the exam, one day before I finished my last go at the mocks, and then I decided that I'm going to save this file for the last day. And before my exam was at 10:30, so it was Eid day. I got up early. After prayer, started reading it on my computer, and I just read it. I did not try to memorize anything or to remember word by word. I just went through it one by one, just read it, and that's it. And that did the trick, because when I was sitting in the exam and those questions were coming about which plan is used for what is included in, let's say, program scope statement, what is included in program business case, that final reading of that file was always going through my mind, and I was able to select the right answer. If anybody is going for PGMP, I would advise to do the same thing with that file, because it is the best way to
So
memorize everything
all the
without much effort.
all the students that take us from PGMP, we are going to share their document for sure. But also for those who did not join our program, if they want to buy that document, you can buy it. It's $69, and this is one of the most worthy document that we have produced. Okay, let's talk about the process: chapter-wise question answers, then the mocks, then the full chapter question answers. What do you think? How it was?
Your voice is a little breaking up.
Sir, I am saying
Can you repeat the last part?
entire process. First, chapter-wise mock, then overall mocks, and then final day mocks. So, what do you think? How important it was to do the chapter-wise mock?
They were those were, I would say, the most important. In PGMP, when you go through from domain to domain, you have to go through the chapters. You
Hmm.
have to know everything about every single chapter, every single basic bit of knowledge that you can get in order to be able to answer the most elaborate or confusing questions in the exam. The
Hmm.
chapter wise mocks really set everything in their place, and once you are able to do them successfully, once you have a good score in those mocks, then you can move on to more difficult, more lengthy mocks
Hmm.
to prepare yourself for the exam. It is the I found it the right sequence of
Hmm.
preparation.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Do
Thank you.
the chapters, do the mocks, and then final preparation, read the document. It helped me, and I got the certification.
Thank you. Thank you, Kamal Sab. It has been an honor to work with you for last three certifications, and keep moving forward. You are going to enter a new phase of the life that is very important, and I'm glad to help you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for confirming that I will be PGMP, even though in between I was a little skeptical about my performance, but you had faith in me, so thank you for that.